But I'm also kind of offended that you don't ever see his dick. Come on.
You really wanted to see
We need equality. We need equality. You're gonna show me some titties, show me some dick as well. Welcome to the first episode of Disagree, the podcast nobody asked for, but
Did agree. I add.
It's gonna be two buddies just talking about movies, and so the rules of the podcast is that I recommend one thing, and then Jonas recommends one thing, and then we both watch it, and then in the next episode we review it. So I recommended a classic anime film that a lot of people consider to be a masterpiece called Spirited Away. Very nice, very wholesome anime. Jonas recommends fucking Requiem for a Dream.
And yet, let's go from wholesome stuff to fucking drug addiction and then depression. Let's do it.
I guess we'll just start with Spirited Away. I never saw this movie before watching. This is my first time, and I also went in completely blind with absolutely zero idea what this movie's about. And I'm gonna open this up with saying that I watched this right after watching Ava 3.0. I understood Ava more than I understood this movie.
Oh.
I like what I saw. I'm just very fucking confused.
I feel like a lot of this movie is based a lot on Japanese mythology and folklore and so on. Like the different spirits actually do exist, or there is something close to them in Japanese folklore. And I don't have that knowledge to tell you all about them. But I found it a really nice movie about both a little girl, they go into adulthood, and like in the beginning in the movie, we are going to spoil all of this movie, by the way.
Yes.
In the beginning of the movie, she is like afraid and so on. She doesn't want to go in the tunnel, for example. But in the end, she actually the one day saving her parent, all that. And it's also a movie about another message, greed. I feel like this movie is about greed and consumerism a lot, because like in the beginning, when you see the parents eat from all of this food you're seeing, they turn into pig, and pig are often represented.
I wrote in my notes, and I guessed it. I said, I'm going to guess the spirits turned them into pigs because they ate the food without their permission. And then later in the movie, the witch, whatever the fuck, says that that's what they did. I also have to say, these parents are terrible people.
They are.
They're just terrible people. They're terrible parents. They constantly, like, fucking abandon her and leave her behind, and then they just let her, like, walk away, and then they just see a bunch of food and start eating it. Like, they kind of deserved what they got.
Yeah, they kind of do. I also feel like they create thing. You actually see that a lot in the movie, and not only of that with the parent, but also with the bathhouse. That a lot of people, like, you have the spirit, no faith, with what a gentle spirit is on, and he can absorb everything he's surrounding. So when he go into the bathroom, he suddenly get a lot more greedier, and everybody wants the gold, and he is like eating a lot and even eating the people. And I think it's a representation of Creed and cruelty in some ways.
Yeah, because when I finished watching it, I was gonna like see if I could find like a fucking like Spirited Away explained video,
Mm,
and I decided not to because I
mm,
just wanted this. I thought it would just be funnier if I hopped onto here, and I'm like, I don't fucking understand. I like what I saw,
mm,
but I don't understand.
mm,
Um, but I saw one video that said something about like the title was like Spirited Away: Why Work is Toxic.
mm,
I I don't know. I don't know if this is a like I know that the movie it, like involves like symbolism with like probably like Japanese I had the word for it last night. I can't remember, but like yeah, the folklore and
mm,
the just the Japanese culture. But I don't
mm,
understand any of it. So
mm.
I just watched I wrote in my notes this is just a fascinatingly weird movie.
It is a really weird movie, and I kind of liked it because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I if I call something weird, it's most likely a massive compliment. Like I did really like the movie. It was
Mm,
really nice. Um, I'm trying to anytime No Face showed up, it made
mm,
me very happy. I really like No Face even without knowing anything. And then there was the point where he was chasing after Sen out of the bathhouse, and I was just sitting there going, okay, I don't know anymore if he's good or not. I I, I just I can't tell.
he absorbed of his surrounding, basically. When people nice to him and polite, he getting polite. But when he is in the bathroom where everybody is greedy, he get greedy as well. That is a little half I saw him. Because when they're wishing the other witch, the twin sister to the bad lady, I don't remember her name. He was a lot more gentle and polite.
Yeah.
Like, so that's how I took it.
Yeah, I liked that in the end he gets to stay with her because
Mm,
he tells Sen that he's really lonely,
mm,
and so then he gets to spend the rest of his life being a helper.
mm.
That was a nice. A lot of the movie's really wholesome as well.
Yes, it
I can
is.
totally understand why people say that is it is the director Miyazaki.
Mm.
Yeah, I can definitely see why a lot of people say Miyazaki films are like Disney anime,
Yeah, they kind of.
like the Disney of anime. But uh, I have I have one thing written in my notes of that came from a giant slug of trash. Why would you think of eating that? Because it's I wrote that after the scene of Sen like she has the ball that the fucking slug of trash gives her and she smells it and she's like, oh, this smells good, and then tries to eat it. I'm like, I don't care if that smells so good. I'm still not gonna eat a ball from a giant slug of trash.
They were weird, but I just hated that. Okay, she is a child and want to explore, I guess. But even that, maybe not me, but with that stink spirit, or he wasn't a stink spirit, but when they take it out like the bicycle and all that other stuff, I also get a little bit more to that, what I am saying, consuming which term. Do I even say it right? Like how we are wasting a lot of stuff that we're buying and so on. Like I get it, kind of like that feeling that while the whole movie isn't about it about her story, you also see like that political message in there, which I found it
Yeah,
pretty nice.
yeah, I can see that. I
Mm,
was just really fucking confused. at everything. There's a giant baby in this. It's just a giant baby, and then he becomes a rat, and he's so fucking adorable.
He was a lot more adorable at the rat than
He is.
baby.
And then, a lot of the animation's also like just really good. Like I didn't really take much notes on that, but in my mind, all I can think of is when the fuck, I don't remember if it. I think it's when the stink spirit shows up, and you see the witch girl running really fast, and just the way they draw that, and then you could hear like the steps just like it's just I don't know why, but that is just stuck in my head.
They did amazing with the animation. All I think it hand-on animation as well. We did really impressive.
Yeah.
And a lot of time nowadays it computer generated.
Yeah, like a lot of the facial expressions are really unique. The fucking guy in the boiler room with the 4 arms, and he's really old. He was cool. He was a cool looking character.
I love all the design in this movie. There were some really neat design.
Yeah.
All people.
Yeah, they just the design of everything is really cool, and like I said, it's just really it's really weird looking characters and designs, and I'm sitting here like they don't really explain, or I don't feel like they really explained that world other than it just being like a spirit realm. And so it's just like, okay, cool. Not gonna explain why people look like this. All right, fine.
In
I
a
just
way,
watched Ava, so I can just accept anything.
In a way, I can like how they didn't explain it and yet have it like, hey, this work with a lot of creatures and kind of keep the mystery around it. And
Yeah.
even if I don't know like how every spirit symbolized or something like that, I can still enjoy it and found, whoa, this look like a fascinating world. Even though the first time we actually see the word, it kind of terrifying. How you're running and you just see shadow come from nowhere.
Yeah. There was a couple moments that I felt really bad for Sen, because like it's obvious she's just scared, so she's not completely thinking straight. But then everyone's just really rude to her. But then at the same time, she could be fucking stupid. She could be really fucking stupid at times. Like I wrote, like I wrote in my notes somewhere. It's yeah, like it's just back to back of obvious. Like she's obviously not thinking clearly, but they treat her like shit because of it. Sad face. But at the same time, she's so fucking stupid.
At the same time, not only is she nervous and all that, she's still a child, and I feel like that will play a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, at least she's not her parents. At least there's that. Like her parents are terrible people.
They seem to make a big deal about the names in the movie as well. Like when she should not forget her real name, and when he got Haku, how to promote that name?
When you're riding on a dragon and then you tell his name, and so then he just turns into a human being, and then he can still fly. And then you find out that your boyfriend was a river. Again, this movie's weird. I love it.
But I feel like all that name, it feels like it kind of about identity in a way that if you're going to why work shut with what the titling that we do usual, I feel like it kind of how a worker, a boss can look down at it employer and just see that person as like a number, instead of an identity. And Shen actually means 10, I think. Or a hundred in Japanese, I think. Shen is 100 in Japanese, which is interesting.
Yeah, I could definitely see there being a bunch of like, metaphors and symbolism and stuff.
Mm,
I would like to watch um a bunch of videos kind of explaining
mm,
the point of the movie and like
mm,
all the metaphors and stuff, because again, I didn't understand anything.
mm.
But I mean,
You still enjoyed it.
yeah, props to the movie that it's like I still enjoyed it. I just really want to know what happened.
Exactly. But I feel like that is something good with that movie as well. That even if you don't know all the folklore and all that, you can still enjoy it and still be fascinated of all the different designs and everything they put into the movie. But one of the best part in the movie that need to pin up, I watched it in my notes. The first thing I wrote in my notes. The soundtrack is so fucking good.
I didn't really pay attention to the soundtrack.
I
can't really comment.
The intro song on this movie, that it's a lot throughout the movie. It's one of my favorite songs on a movie ever. I found it beautiful, and I just get filled with emotion every time I heard it. It a great music pitch.
Yeah. I wrote down a quote from the movie that I really liked. Nothing that happens is ever forgotten, even if you can't remember it. I thought that was a really fucking good quote.
That was a good quote.
And then I wrote, well, that was an interesting ending. Because it kind of was. For like a split moment, I thought, because like obviously the parents don't remember anything, which I guess makes sense. But Sen remembers. But for a moment, I thought the movie was gonna like, because it does, when she's leaving the tunnel, they copy the same like actions and dialogue as when they were entering the tunnel. So like Sen's clutching onto her mom, and her mom says, you're gonna make me trip, if you keep clutching onto me. And so for a split moment, I thought, did none of this actually happen? But then it's like, and then immediately it's like, okay, no, like time has passed. Car's filled with dust. It's covered in leaves. And the parents just look at that and go, weird. Like, they don't question it. Like, you don't question a bunch of grass filling up your car.
They didn't question and abandoned, what was it? An abandoned city when there was food still left. They were warm. They didn't question that either. They just ate from it.
I want to see the version of this movie where Sen decides not to go into the tunnel, and her parents just become pigs. And she doesn't know. She's just sitting in a car for 2 hours.
I would still feel bad for her. She got a lot of parents.
Yeah, because her parents are terrible people. They're not good people. That is literally like the second thing I wrote. The first thing I wrote is I might be way too tired to watch this. I watched it right after watching Ava, and it was like 11:30 at night. And like, to be fair, I didn't go to bed until 4 a.m. But like I had initially went out into the garage to go have a tall glass of water, and then I thought, oh wait, I gotta watch Spirited Away. So then I went and watched it. And then the second thing I wrote was, I'm sorry, but these parents are terrible people.
Yeah,
and then
they're not that good.
And then I wrote about the pigs. I feel very proud of myself for understanding that. See, Jonas, I understand. I like Spirited Away for all the right reasons. Fuck you. What the fuck? I can barely understand anything that I write. Um, I wrote, I like how none of the spirits acknowledge her. Oh, that
Mm.
would have been. I think that would have been when she was running away. When
Oh yeah.
Haku told her to. Yeah, when she was on the bridge and Haku told her like, you're on the. Yeah, you're not supposed to be out here, and told her to start running, and then she ends up finding her parents being pigs. But as
Mm.
she's running, like she runs into a bunch of spirits, they don't acknowledge her in the slightest.
Mm.
Which is
That's true.
which I guess is a little weird because in the bathhouse they make such a big deal about humans.
Mm.
So it kind of makes me wonder,
Maybe
like, why does the bathhouse care so much about the humans, but then all the spirits outside don't acknowledge her in the slightest?
I wondering if it because there have been human outside. Because what I'm took away is that some of the spirits that was in the bathhouse that could have been human before, and although a lot of the human might be the pig that you see in in that place. That
Hmm.
maybe there have been a lot of human there before, and the human turns to pig. Maybe.
Yeah, because there is the ending of the movie where
Mm,
she has all the pigs,
mm,
and she's like, guess your parents, and then it's kind of a basic ending.
mm,
Not that it's bad, but she then guess she's like, none of these are my parents,
mm,
and none of them were,
mm,
which plays into the whole thing because there's that whole part she's scared about forgetting what her
mm,
parents look like, and she has the bad dream of like a bunch of pigs
mm.
attacking her or something.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think it was like all the pig wanted to take the bean that they could eat. I don't remember the name of that.
Yeah, and I just remembered the spirits are so racist towards humans. They
They
just
will
are,
all.
to the point that like Lonnie tells her like, go get this thing that we need to clean up the bathhouse, and Sen's just doing her job, and then she's getting refused. It's like, why would I give it to you? You're a human. And it's like, bruh, Lonnie told me to get this. I need this for my
Mm,
job. And then No Face, just a king, and grabs all of them.
mm. I like No Face.
No Face is so adorable. I love him. Like even before, and of course, like I can't, I can't look at No Face without thinking of that stupid fucking meme I made of the photo of just it's No Face on the bridge and an impact font. It just says when you bottom text,
Oh
and that's
yes.
so fucking funny to me.
I don't know why it is funny. It's just it.
But I can't look at like the first thing. The first couple times I saw No Face, all I could think of was just when you bottom text.
But you know that they did No Face really good with the China all because you recognize No Face everywhere. When you see No Face in an anime media, you know it No
Yeah,
Face.
I think I remember seeing uh yeah, I think it was a photo of a girl who dressed up as like it was a tiny like probably like a kindergarten age girl uh dressed up as No Face for Halloween. And you see the photo and she's standing there and I'm pretty sure there's a kid somewhere just crying. I want to find this photo. It's so fucking funny. It's such a queen move. No Face girl costume. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's one is No Face and one is fucking Ryuk. That looks
Oh,
like, is that Ryuk? I think that is. Yeah.
I need to see it.
You can see in the background. There's just a, oh, I'm gonna send it to you. You see in the, yeah. It's sending. This is so fucking funny. I love this photo so much.
Oh yeah, that photo. I've seen
Yeah,
it.
the girl's just crying, and in the background is this girl just wearing no face makeup like a fucking queen.
Oh,
That is
it's
such a good
perfect.
costume.
It is.
I can't imagine
Uh,
me. Yeah, I guess this is also from the same. Oh shit! This is the same person. Holy shit! That's not a separate girl. That's This is the same person, the same
ooh,
girl, dressed up as No Face, and then went as I think that's Ryuk.
yeah, it is. Really good cosplay.
Trans Ryuk.
We stand it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, she went as Ryuk. Why does it look
One
better than? Why does this little girl's costume look better than fucking Death Note 2017?
everything look better than that dog shit movie.
I last time we talked about Ryuk from Death Note 2017, we disagreed. So I don't know if we're still gonna disagree. I think that design looks like shit.
I kinda like the design, but still, I don't like the direction they took the character,
Yeah.
which should be funny. But now he just like, oh, look how scary I am.
Like Willem Dafoe's carrying that entire movie on his back, but that design looks like shit. I do
Yeah.
not like it. I much prefer the 2006 live action because it's more.
Yeah,
It looks like Ryuk in real life. And I remember the first time I saw that. I have this thing. I've always had this thing since I was a really little kid that if something really scares me, then it starts to make me cry. Or at least it just, like, I get tears in my eyes. The first time I saw 2006 live action Ryuk, I started having tears in my eyes. I was like, that is genuinely terrifying.
It is.
Meanwhile, I look at the Death Note 2017 movie and it's like, I can barely fucking see him. And when I can, he looks like shit. Looks like a meth addict.
And they're doing a sequel to that movie or something, or if it was a TV show, I don't know, but why that movie was awful.
I heard about the director's gonna do a sequel, and then I heard about the Stranger Things doing a live action TV show, and it's like, why? Have you guys not learned your lesson? The anime was fine.
I feel like anime doesn't translate to live action that good.
Imagine trying to make Spirited Away, but live action.
No, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. One of
the things about animation is that you're able to do I mean, just to really understand why animation doesn't work well in live action, just watch Your Movie Sucks' Lion King 2019 review.
Basically.
That's one of his big points, is because you're able to do things that live action can't do. You can't get away with any of the character designs in Spirited Away in live action. Any of the character designs or the way they move, like when the witch finds out about the baby being gone, and she just becomes this like exploding thing of fire, and her hair's all over the place, and she's in his face, and he's like, where is it? And then she's like, your twin sister took him. And she just like then calms down and then goes over to the seat and sits on it, and like even like herself is also moving. It's just, you can't do that in live action.
You really can't.
It just looks so beautiful when it's animation. Why are we why can't cartoons just stay cartoons? Why does everything have to be live action? I hate it here.
Money.
It's so dumb.
Yes, it is.
I can't remember.
Can you were talking about that witch? One of my notes is saying, for old lady, the villain is pretty damn scary.
No, I wrote down when the stink spirit shows up. like you can see even she has fear. Like when he enters in and the smell is so bad, you can see both Sen and the witch just like paralyzed in fear and just of how bad it smells. I wrote down, when this bitch is scared, that just tells me this is bad news.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, it is. Like when the evil character is even scared, like that just tells you this isn't good. This is not a good thing. And then like, you know, Sen ends up proofing herself, I guess. But, you know, because she does really well with the stink spirit. And then it turns into a dragon or something, and it's just like, good job, and then leaves. And for a moment, I genuinely thought that was Haku. Like, I thought it was Haku testing Sen or something, but it's not the same dragon, so...
But it is still a weaver spirit, or what the name of it is again.
Again, it's probably, like, if you know the Japanese mythology, and, you know, how the Japanese people, like, view spirits in their culture, and it probably also has a lot to say about just how they look at death.
Yeah,
like, they definitely look at death very differently than, like, you know, like, since I'm American, I'm just gonna use Americans, but, like, as Americans do. Americans view death as, like, this terrifying thing to the point that we have to create a religion in order to cope. Religion is just copium. But
it basically is.
Like, we have to try to justify death. Meanwhile, fucking Japanese culture is like, you kill yourself, you honor your family. We have a whole forest about it. Logan Paul's gonna film in it. We're not gonna talk about it.
Now, I still think that they view death, not the holy, but the mental health in but
like,
not
kamikaze soldiers are a thing, and they, from my understanding, is when they do their job and they succeed, then they bring honor to their family. I think maybe that might be more their outlook on work culture than more death.
Yeah.
Like, you're honoring your family because you finished your job. Yeah. Or then you honoring your family because you fucking killed yourself.
Yeah, it's probably that.
But yeah,
they have a really straight work culture. That.
Yeah, because I can definitely see, and, you know, given the whole, like, spirit thing, and spirits are more linked with death, I can definitely see how this movie might be, like, very heavy into the mythology of death. Probably with culture, I can totally understand it being like a criticism of like consumerism and like work culture, probably, because like I mean, I bring up the work culture because of that video of why work is so toxic, but I mean, like, the whole bathhouse thing is literally them working and doing a lot of hard work, and like the dude in the boiler room, which oh my god, that fucking line, that line of Sen being like, I'm gonna go, what's the guy's name I want to make, it's Kamaji. when Sen's like, I'm gonna go visit Kamaji, because like after she wakes up from her, I think it was her bad dream, and like nobody's in her room, and she comes down and everyone's in a panic or in a hustle because they're all full with greed and trying to get the gold from No Face. And Lonnie comes up and is like, you know, come on down, you know, get this gold. And Sen's like, I'm gonna go visit, I'm gonna go see Kamaji. And fucking Lonnie goes, or not Lonnie, Lynn. I'm now saying it's Lynn. Apologies. But Lynn then goes, I wouldn't do that. He's very upset because they woke him up. That's a fucking mood and a half.
It is.
Like, Kamaji is such a great character. I really I liked his design. I like the fucking like dust spites or whatever the fuck those things are. Those were really interesting. I like how they kept the shoes. I like how they have a foot fetish.
I feel like I could
they're really nice.
I could watch a whole TV show just based around that bathhouse and the work culture that because there's so
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
I would definitely take
fascinating.
that. I would
Yeah.
definitely take that. That fucking bathhouse is so. Yeah, it really is fascinating.
Mm,
Like it's just a. Yeah, this movie's really fucking good.
it
For
is.
like, I honestly don't really have like any complaints. I don't think I have a single complaint about the movie.
Me neither. I really like this
Like
movie.
uh, it's not really a complaint. It's just a joke when I say that I understood Ava more, but I did. I
Yeah.
watched Ava 3.0. Very good movie, by the way. It's very
Okay.
fucking different. The way the Ava rebuilds work is that 1.0 is basically the same thing, and then 2.0 continues to be the same thing as the original show, and then in the third act they introduce a new character and change some things. 3.0 is a
Oh.
completely different story, and then 4.0 I guess is a completely continues that completely different story. 3.0 is really fucking good. Like I genuinely like 3.0 more than the original show.
Okay, then I might check it out then.
Because there's a lot of like really fucked looking shit that looks so cool. Like there's obviously like, and I watched it with Eric, and there was a scene where he's like, because it's really they kind of switched from like the show don't tell, and they started telling like the story of who Ray is, and they the guy's playing like Japanese chess with Shinji, and there's a scene where he's looking at a photo of his mom, and he's like, is that Ray? And immediately the guy goes, that is your mother. And we just both busted up laughing, and then it cuts. It's like a shot, and it's a dark room, and he goes, and then like a blue light turns on, and he goes, oh, I see that the power's turned back on now. And then immediately, giant red cross and the Ava Unit 01 in the background, and it's like, oh, okay. And then there's another shot where he brings up Ray, and of course it's a black background, and then it cuts the background, like it shows off the background, and it's just a wall of decapitated Ray heads. And then there's like a whole there's a whole scene that became one of my favorite scenes from Ava, where Shinji is trying to like, because he I guess he's thinking, I say that I understood Ava more than this. Still, I barely understand Ava. That's fine. It's an Anno movie. I expect it, but I guess he's obsessed on whether or not he saved Ray in the last movie, and then I guess he realizes that he didn't, and so he's trying to cope with that, and there's just this shot of him walking down the hallway, and the way it's animated and edited is so fucking cool that I have it in my list of favorite scenes. It's like Shinji's rant at the top, the elevator scene, the hospital scene, that hallway scene, common sense, or Kaji saying that he wants to be Masato's melons, and then the Spear of Longevin scene.
Okay.
Is my ranking of
I
favorite
need to watch it.
Yeah,
They still have some sad boy moments with our Twitch.
It also has gay moments, which is very nice. There's a scene where Shinji and I don't remember his name, the gay angel, they basically do the it's basically like a retelling of the synchronized scene between Shinji and Asuka, only it's Shinji and the angel. And they get into Ava Unit 01 together, or I guess it's now Ava Unit 13 because yes. And they get in, and I thought it was really funny because they get in, and then it cuts to Shinji, and in the background it's rainbows. And my first thought was, this is symbolism for the fact that Shinji's in a gay relationship with this character. They're very gay together, and I really like it.
How the fuck did we go to Eva?
Yes. But
But
anyways,
if
yeah,
you're coming to
Spirited
think
Away
it
is
up,
very good.
do you have like a favorite scene of this movie that you really liked?
Spirited Away?
Yet?
I'm not sure. I have 2 notes on scenes. The bridge scene makes me anxious. I don't know why I wrote that. I genuinely can't remember why I wrote
You
that.
maybe can picture yourself being
And-
in that.
And then I wrote stair scene funny. But she has to go down the stairs to get to the boiler room, and she takes she's just kind of crawling down the stairs, and then she slips and then just runs down the entire stairs in one go and hits a wall, and I was like, that's funny.
It is.
I wrote I like this blob creature, he's so cute. The giant blob that follows them into the elevator and then goes up.
I like it.
Again, like a lot of the creature design and the design of the spirits, they're so fucking good.
They are.
Like a lot of them just look so cute.
That
baby when he turns into a little rat, and you got the little bird also flying, and
they're adorable.
Yeah, and there's the scene where he's like the crow raven thing like gets tired and ends up landing on the ground, so then the baby just starts walking, for him, and then I thought it was really funny. Sam's like, you can hitch a ride on my shoulder, and the baby just kind of looks at her and then just like, no, and continues walking, and then almost immediately ends up on her shoulder anyway.
Oh yes,
because of a lamp with a foot. Because yes.
I also really like the head critters. Though they are jumping off the head, I had found them really funny.
And they turn. Oh, I'm honestly surprised the baby did not take offense over getting called disgusting by his own mother.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just really understanding that he was a rat, but since there's that scene where Sen's like, don't you recognize him? And she's like, of course not. That's he's disgusting. And then the 3 heads are a baby, and they're just fucking going to town on the chocolate. And Haku comes in and it's like, you're really stupid, aren't you? you don't understand? You're missing something? And then she realizes.
But do you realize that the third thing she was looking at wasn't the baby? It was the gold.
Yeah.
We also played a part of the greed.
Yeah. Like, she's a really greedy person. Like, there's that shot of her looking at all the jewels, and then she hides it away, and then she she gets Haku to steal from her own sister. Which I thought that scene where she finds it so funny that Sen crushed the curse, just squashed it. She like makes an emphasis on that and finds it so funny because that wasn't what she did. That was her. That was how the witch character controlled Haku. I thought that was really funny. I also thought it was kind of interesting that Sen just starts calling the sister Granny.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, just casually refers to her as Granny, and then also refers to the witch as Granny, and that confuses the witch. It's like, Granny, and it's like, Granny, what are you talking about?
I also feel like this movie is kind of unpredictable because I remember the first time I watched it, I did not know how they would go with it and how she would save her parent or anything like that. I was just taken with the ride. I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, halfway through, I was just I kept pausing it because I was like, I would unpause it, something would happen, I would pause it again. It's just like, okay, more weird stuff's happening. I don't understand anything, and then I just went, you know what? I've seen Ava. I can just deal with this. throw whatever you have at me. I'm not gonna understand anything, but I like everything that I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's a really creative movie.
Like
My favorite scene in the movie, though, it's kind of one of the quietest moments when Haku tells her real name and how she shouldn't forget it. And they were also the scene after she has seen her parent and she starts crying.
Yeah.
That is my favorite scene. That was really
Yeah, I can definitely see that. That was a really good scene. I really don't think I have a favorite scene, but I definitely do have that favorite quote of nothing that happens is ever forgotten, even if you can't remember it. That's such a good fucking quote. Such a good line.
It was a really good movie. So how the fuck do we?
I also wrote how when Sen when Sen like refuses to like interact with No Face and like just tells him to go away, and he's like he's sad, and he's like, I want Sen, I'm so lonely. I just wrote, how dare you make No Face sad. I would be such good friends with No Face. I would make him so happy. I love him so much.
I love No Face.
Yeah, so I give Spirited Away a 9 out of 10.
I will just go with my anime list, which I gave it a 10 out of 10. I really like this movie.
That makes sense. A lot of people, I like going through the letterbox list. A lot of people either give it like a 4.5 or a full 5. I know Schaefer Illis has his review on there where he says that he wish he can give it 6 stars. So it's like, yeah, I can definitely see why this is a classic and a masterpiece, and I really enjoyed it. I'm iffy even on my own score of giving it a 9 because like I said, I don't have any negative thing about it. I don't have any complaints, but at the same time, like I grade more based off of enjoyability, and it wasn't. It's I don't get me wrong. I really liked the movie. I wouldn't say I loved it. It didn't really give me the same. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the movies that I give a 10, like Mask of the Phantasm or Richard Jewell or even Seven. Like Seven made a really fucking lasting impression on me. Speaking of dark movies with endings,
so today how we are going to transition with
Requiem for a Dream. You know what? I just remembered. Actually, you wanted to do Requiem for a Dream first, and then end on Spirited Away. But we're doing this backwards. We're ending with sad. Requiem for a Dream is a movie made by Darren Aronofsky. This is the only Darren Aronofsky movie I've seen. It's a movie about. I can actually talk about this movie more than I can with Spirited Away because I understand it more. And also, I own the 4K of it, so it has like bonus features and stuff. It's a movie about addiction. I know when I first watched it and I was talking to you about it, you said that you thought it was or that you understood it as a movie about heroin. It's just addiction in general. They just use heroin, and then they also use the weight loss pills.
Yeah.
Also, behind the scenes, Darren Aronofsky apparently told all the main actors, like, list your 3 like favorite things, like 3 things you can't live without, and then they listed them, and he was like, all right, I want you to completely ignore them for like a long amount of time, so then they know what it's like to be addicted and have what's the word? Yes.
Yeah.
Wanting that thing that you can't get. I think I only remember Marlon Wayans saying that only 2 of his was I can't remember all 3 of them, but 2 of them was money and women. So that's all I remember. But yeah, it's a very sad movie and nobody wins. where the fuck do you want to begin?
So, I can begin with saying that when I first watched this movie, I was like, they were a really good movie. I mean, I don't never want to see it again. I feel that this fucking podcast become a thing, and I want it again.
Again, you're the one that recommended Requiem for a Dream. This is entirely your fault.
Again, I'm hating myself too much.
I went for something wholesome. You went for this. I told you, I stopped writing after the house cleaning scene because I just stopped having things to say. Or like just being able to write notes.
It was kind of the same plate I started as well, because it really hard to write notes to this movie because there are a lot of things that happening. But I'm calling it depression the movie because it really is just fucking sad. I feel like the second viewing of this movie was worse than the first viewing because you at least know what happened with the character. When you just see the old lady being happy, eating chocolate in the beginning, and you know how she will end up, you just feel like, oh, it hurts.
I took note. If you ever end up rewatching it again, probably not likely, but also very likely. I noticed that fucking iconic theme, which is iconic for a reason. It's so fucking good.
It's so good.
That plays pretty much during every key moment of their downfall.
Yep.
Every dark moment, every moment that adds on to their downfall, that theme starts playing.
And you actually noted it more in the second view time, because then you know, okay, this will lead out to this and will lead to this.
There's still parts that I don't understand. Like I don't understand. I was the whole TV thing, was that like her imagination or something?
Yes. I think
it was.
Yes, I think some talk made you, what the name of it again? You create your own vision of it. I think the talk made her what the fuck is the name?
Sarah is the character's name. Excellently played by Ellen Bernstein. She deserved that fucking Oscar.
Yeah, she does.
She is the best part about that movie. And that house cleaning scene, the information is a little iffy. On the behind the scenes, kind of like just Darren Aronofsky sitting and giving commentary on behind the scenes. He says that during that house cleaning scene, which was shot really fucking well, it was they have that was like a sound stage, and she was cleaning it, and they had this camera that was just moving really slowly, like very fucking slowly, and then they sped up the footage. Darren Aronofsky said that they filmed that twice.
Oh,
because the first time, Ellen didn't like her take, and so she filmed it a second time, even though she had hurt her back while doing the scene.
Oh.
So then she wanted to do it again. That's what Darren Aronofsky says, but then on the 4K disc, there's a feature where Ellen Bernstein talks about her performance, which there's I don't think I wrote a note, but she also talks about another scene that was really fucking good. But I think she says that she only did that scene once. So I don't know what the information, like I said, the information's iffy. But I mean, if she did do it twice, even with having a hurt back, just because she didn't like her performance in the first one, fucking queen shit.
Yes. Honestly, her acting is probably one of the best acting I have seen in any movie. Honestly,
it is.
It was so fucking good.
That scene where she she gives that excellent speech to Jared Leto about how she's alone and like
Mm,
what's what's so good about getting in the red dress? It's a reason to wake up in the morning.
mm,
She said that was, according to Ellen Bernstein, if I remember correctly, that was the first take of that
mm.
scene, and she had started crying
Oh,
while that wasn't something she had planned. She just started crying because she could relate to the monologue.
oh,
Like if you
dang.
notice, she really starts crying after she says "I'm old"
Yeah,
because
if
she she was she
yes,
was getting pretty old. She was hitting her old age, and that was something that
mm,
that hit her in that moment. She just started crying, which makes that scene so much fucking better.
uh,
And
it felt
Darren
so real.
Aronofsky just, Darren Aronofsky knows how to work with his actors, and so he was just,
Mm,
he knew how to work with her and with all the other people, and like Ellen Bernstein's a really fucking good actor. She was in a
mm.
Hitchcock movie, I think. Or no, she was in a Scorsese movie, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just no seeing that scene after hearing her say that monologue just hit a lot.
Mm.
Why the fuck do I have an Ava reference written in my notes?
What?
What is this? I like how the theme plays when Jared and Ellen sends the info because it's the beginning of the downfall. Oh, it was I think it's when she sends them the information through the mail, and she's got all the other old ladies like surrounding her and like applauding her. I wrote down congratulations because I was thinking the original Ava ending. I also saw that dance scene of her being all happy and dancing, and for some reason my first thought was I want to soundtrack this with that fucking god awful have sex song from Morbius.
No. No.
I might do that for this fucking podcast.
About funny
in
moments.
post.
The one scene in this movie, it is a really dark and sad movie that really made me laugh. That was when he is in the car with the other truck dealer. I think you know that the white man, I think you just say, fail. That made me laugh.
Shit, you got a white driver. Starts immediately shooting. And then fucking Marlon Wayans is like running as fast as he possibly, like behind the scenes, that was him running as fast as he can while holding like a massive camera gear on his chest. So it was like a lot of work for him. Yeah. God, there's so much to fucking talk about this movie. I don't think I like Jared Leto. I think I found out while watching this. I don't like Jared Leto. I used to defend him. Like
I found it acting fine.
Like I don't like. Obviously I don't like his Joker. I don't.
Yeah.
That's what I knew Jared Leto for, was his Joker. Even though, fun story, I've talked about it before. I'm just like now getting into like movies and music stuff. So for like the longest time, I didn't really know actor names. So back in 2016, especially, I didn't really know like a lot of them. So when the news came out that Jared Leto was gonna be the Joker, I confused him with Jay Leno. I thought Jay Leno was gonna be the Joker for Suicide Squad. Which, oh my fucking god. But yeah, like hearing like Jared Leto was a fucking piece of shit on Suicide Squad, and then after like Morbius, of how he uses method acting as a excuse to just be a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to the stories of like Heath Ledger, I mean, I know it's an overused thing, but like Heath Ledger, like he method acted, but you hear stories. Yeah, you hear stories of people on set, and he's like, he was really nice. Like he showed up on set, he was really nice. Like he even showed up on set during, like even when he wasn't gonna be doing any scenes, he would still show up just to be there and be nice. Meanwhile, Jared Leto's like, my character's crippled. Help me shit. And it's like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I think knowing all that,
affect how you see him.
made me not like him. And then I also wrote like, I like how while he's, because in the beginning of the movie it opens up with him, trying to steal the TV, and I wrote, I like how while he's the one stealing the TV for heroin, he's blaming her, because that's kind of just in general, like, not to stereotype, but there are a lot of drug addicts that do end up just being pieces of shit to people, because the only thing they care about is getting their high, and so he's being a piece of shit to his own mother. And then I wrote, Jared Leto is great at being a piece of shit. And then later on I wrote, I think I hate Jared Leto. Because it's just like every scene with him, I'm just sitting there going, you're such a piece of shit.
Like,
Like,
why I heard for him in real life, he doesn't seem like a great person. I don't know him, so what do I know? But I actually think he actually was fine in the movie. He wasn't the best bot in the movie, in my opinion, because that is the old lady. I don't remember.
Ellen Bernstein. Like, Jared Leto's fine. Jennifer Connelly's fine. Like, everyone's fine. I mean, Keith David's in this movie, and I'm a Snark Tank fan, so Keith David, Lord and Savior. Which was really insane on my first watch, because I didn't know Keith David was going to be in this movie, and then he's just a fucking piece of shit as well. Everyone in this movie, except for, like, Ellen, is a piece of shit. But,
one thing I liked about that scene we talked earlier, when she's telling she's lonely, he actually kind of give a reason to maybe, we don't know, but maybe that the reason that he became a drug addict as well, because we know that his father had passed away, and maybe that did a lot of impact, and maybe that also is what a part of it why he went into that path.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Jared Leto's fine in the movie. He's not cringe like he is in fucking Suicide Squad.
He got a lot better hair than his Suicide Squad.
I mean, I don't remember anything from Morbius. I blacked that out after 5 drinks.
It's moving time.
But God, the only thing I remember from Morbius is the dance scene and Cameron freaking out about a fucking 5'7". That moment lives in my head rent free, of Cameron freaking out over a 5'7".
I can't believe they shoot that music in the dance scene. I can't believe it.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But also, I just can't get out of my head. I don't know why that's lived in my head. It's like Fire Cahoon all over again, of just Cameron's saying a 5'7". He starts freaking out about how, it's 5'7". It's not even 5'7" Friday, and we got 5'7s. And it's like, I don't even know what the fuck a 5'7" is, other than it's a gun. Yeah. I'm not this passionate about guns. But I feel you. But
something I love about this movie, Requiem For A Dream, is how the movie edited it. Like, many scenes when you see like 2 points of view at the same time, or every time when you see like a speed up with a close up when they're taking the pills or something like that, it made me uncomfortable every time, and they used it a lot and it worked really well.
Yeah, I also have written Jennifer Connelly pubic hair.
Oh yeah.
There's a scene where you can see her pubic hair. You can't see any pussy, but you can see pubic hair. I'll admit, it doesn't look that bad.
I don't know how to comment on that. But I think one reason this movie is so uncomfortable at it, it's both the acting, but also how it edited it and so on. I feel like everything that play a part in why it's so uncomfortable. with the music, how a lot of quick shots, close up, and everything like that. Even when you don't see anything on screen, you still feel uncomfortable. So yeah.
Another thing that I'm still kind of confused about, after Jennifer Connelly has sex with that one piece of shit,
Yes.
for the money, which, God, it's so uncomfortable to watch because, like, because you see that the moment she takes her shirt off, he's just immediately on her.
Yeah.
It's so gross, but
It's...
at the end, I didn't rewind or anything, so I don't know if she ever, like, opens her mouth or not. But when she gets out and she goes into the elevator and then gets out and throws up, I was wondering, is that throw up or did he nut in her mouth and she's spitting it out?
think she threw up, but now when you're saying
It's probably throw up, but I don't know if... Because as far as I know, in that entire scene, she doesn't open her mouth at all until she gets out.
And that scene is really uncomfortable, but the worst part is that's not even the most uncomfortable scene with her.
Yeah.
The fucking ad scene.
Yeah. I misunderstood that scene when it played. Because when I first watched this movie, I was high. Because, of course. So I missed a decent amount of stuff. Like, I missed a couple scenes. And I missed the scene where they, explained and showed what that was. And so, for like a split second, it just looked like a guy sitting there and then two girls on his lap. And then I'm hearing a bunch of guys saying come. So I thought it was like a double ass job, which I find that to be really hot. And then after seeing that movie, I was like, oh. And I messaged you that Requiem for a Dream ruined one of my favorite positions. I take that back. I'm not into what actually happened. I'm not into that at all. So
good.
Double ass job is still not ruined for me. I'm fine.
That scene was so fucking uncomfortable.
I have written during the scene where she's talking, or she's like getting ready for the date with the guy, and Jared Leto's jealous, and she's like, oh, you're jealous, and she like gets on him and forces him to like rap. I wrote, finding jealousy attractive, women moment. Also, I wanted to bring up, you've brought up multiple times that the doctor is terrible.
He did piece of shit.
You're talking about the guy who prescribes the medicine, right?
Yes.
I feel like
he doesn't even look at her. He was like, "Oh, it's okay." I think when she told me the full took out her mind, and he just, it's fine. You continue.
There's also I wrote just the whole hospital's terrible because the nurse also says I've seen worse.
Yes.
Who the fuck says that? Who the fuck says that to a patient of just, I've seen worse?
Somebody should sue the whole hospital. American style.
Heath Ledger, look. The Joker in The Dark Knight had a point in blowing up a hospital. This is some fucking Good Sam shit. Which only people who live in the area that I live on would understand that. But Good Sam is such a dog shit hospital where I live. This is a Good Sam moment. But at the same time, I also wrote, I don't know if it's the hospital or just Ellen interpreting what they're saying. Because it is shown that she does have a wild imagination. Fridge.
That's cool.
So there's a part of me that wonders if maybe they're not actually, like, obviously there are scenes where the doctor is obviously just a piece of shit. But like in the beginning, like the whole "I've seen worse," or like when he walks in, is like, I can tell you put on a bit of you're a bit overweight.
Mm.
It could just be a simple thing as the doctor is a piece of shit, or you could also see it as possibly like Ellen, because she's obviously struggling with weight issues, that the doctor is saying something, but the way she's interpreting it is that he's just being a piece of shit.
That's true.
It can happen. I mean,
It can
I can
happen.
speak from firsthand experience. You take things personally sometimes.
Also,
Take things
I
the
had
wrong way.
never been on a diet. I had never been on it, so I don't know. But that diet book seemed really extreme and unhealthy with its diet recommendations.
I wrote down that the movie does a really good job at showing the daunting task of being on a diet. Because when she's reading it and it's constantly like cutting to just no, 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 and it's like and you can see just how daunting it is for her to have to cut out everything that tastes good. And
I feel like
with a fucking hard-boiled egg and a grapefruit and a cup of black coffee. I would hate my life if that was my diet.
I feel I became like hungry, or I don't know what to say, but I could feel her hunger when you look at the time and so on. And you feel like, oh, just eat already.
Yeah. I also like how they shot that scene of her eating, where you don't actually see her eat. It just cuts, and then it's like, all right, the grapefruit's now empty, and then it looks. She like looks around, and then the hard-boiled egg is now broken, and then the coffee, and also the sound design in this movie is really fucking good.
It's so good.
It's so uncomfortable at times, like when she's gritting her teeth, and I did like that scene where Jared Leto's able to like figure out like that she's on medication and she's on uppers and she's taking something that's not good and that she'll get addicted to, because he knows from firsthand experience about drugs and shit. So I thought that was a interesting scene and
how
a good one, but also like still Jared Leto's character is just such a piece of fucking shit to her. Like, I don't care that he bought her a new TV and like admitted that like, oh, I know I've been bad. Like, motherfucker, you are such a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is the bit of shit.
He's even a piece of shit to Jennifer Connelly.
Like,
he forces her to have sex with someone that she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And then she rightfully, I mean, at the same time, like, that scene where she gets really mad at him and like blames him for not being able to get the stuff, it kind of does show that relationship is a toxic one in general. Like, they're not good for each other anyways. But also, like, Jared Leto's still just a piece of shit. A part of me kind of just wants to side with Jennifer Connelly anyways, because I don't like Jared Leto as a person.
Yeah, I agree. But he lost his arm of this movie.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird, actually, because with all that happened, he losing his arm was the least disturbing part of all of it. With it telling something, because if someone is losing their arm, and that's the least disturbing part, they're telling something about the movie.
It was so heartbreaking. Because I missed it on my first watch. There's the shot where after Ellen Bernstein goes through the electroshock therapy, there's the two girls that are from the apartment building, and they see her, and then it cuts to them outside, and one of them is just broke down crying. And I had to rewind because I thought maybe that was Ellen's character, but it wasn't. So it was just two girls that saw, and I wonder, I don't recall, I didn't pay much attention, and I couldn't really remember the characters.
They are her friends.
Yeah, but I wonder if the one crying is the one that put her on the medication, the one that recommended the doctor.
Holy shit, I think they watched.
Because that would make sense of her feeling like she's guilty, and that she's the reason for why Ellen ends up where she is. Also, I really like how at the end, when they're all curl up. They all curl up in the same position,
Yeah,
which I thought was a nice touch.
it was a nice touch. Also, I kind of liked that. Also, he really liked the Sarah what in the Turkey edition as well, and he is taking the taxi. I kind of like the touch when he is using his talk to escape that reality and his emotion as well. So
Yeah.
the addition yet feed each other in a way.
Yeah, because you have that scene where he's in the back of the taxi and he starts crying, and then it cuts to the montage of him taking it, and then he's just feeling fine. He does that again with when Jennifer Connelly is off with the piece of shit, and he's watching the commercial, and then he starts just envisioning her fucking the dude, and then he takes it so then he can stop thinking about it. I wrote during the scene where Marlon Wayans is like messing around with the mirror, and his girlfriend is like off on the mattress, like trying to get him to come over. It cuts to a shot where you can see the back of Marlon Wayans, and I wrote, bro, why is he so caked up? Marlon Wayans is so thick in this movie for no reason. But I'm also kind of offended that you don't ever see his dick. You see his girlfriend's titties. You see titties. But you don't. Come on.
You really wanted to see.
We need equality. We need equality. You're gonna show me some titties, show me some dick as well.
I kind of like that touch when he actually look at the picture of his mom, and he just feel like you kind of knew what he felt in that moment. That he felt kind of like disappointed.
Yeah.
And how he end up like. I really like that scene.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this was a previous note I kind of brought up. I like how the theme plays when Marlon Wayans gets the heroin and when Ellen sends the info, because it's the beginning of the downfall. Which, yeah, the theme is used really well. I think that was it. A lot of it's composed by samples, from what I remember, but then the strings were actually recorded at I don't know if they were recorded at. I know the movie was mixed at Skywalker Ranch. That was like the first time that Darren Aronofsky got to like mix a movie there, which is pretty fucking cool. Because almost everyone on the plane is a Star Wars fan, so getting to go to Skywalker Ranch and make your movie there is pretty cool.
I feel like something we need to clean up when talking about this movie. How the fuck do you make a fridge scary?
Still, my favorite Letterboxd review of the movie is story time. My fridge tried to kill me, not clickbait.
It was terrifying. How the fuck do you do that?
And that fridge is entirely practical.
Whoa,
that was entirely practical effects, and then the fridge melted after.
Damn.
Actually melted and broke after finishing up one of the shots.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, the movie's really fucking good. I've ran out of all my notes at this point.
Yeah. I feel like this movie is better in the second viewing, but I don't know if most viewers watch it want to see it a second time.
I don't. Like my final notes were the iconic house cleaning scene, and then I just kind of stopped, and then I wrote, the sound design in this movie is incredible, which I think might have been during the teeth grinding scene, and then a long gap, and then they all curl up in the same position, so that happened.
Yeah,
that's the final note I have written, is so that happened, and I wrote that like 10 or 15 minutes after I finished the movie, and I just kind of sat in silence. I was like, so that happened.
When I watched this movie for like 2 days ago, I was like, "Did a really good movie. How the fuck do I talk about it? Because I don't know how to talk about this movie."
Yeah,
and do it yesterday.
I ran out of notes. I don't know what other than Jared Leto's arm
Mm,
when they're heading to I think it's like to Florida or something, and they show off his that shit's fucking
uh,
disgusting.
it really
I
disgusting. And when he
I think
put in the needle
both
again,
both times that I've seen the movie, I don't think I watched it when he put the needle in.
mm,
I think I looked away and I tried covering the screen because I
it was
cannot
really,
handle seeing
I
that shit.
I watched it and it was really uncomfortable.
I can't. All I can think of though is that there's like some trivia about how like apparently Jared Leto hung out with heroin addicts when making this movie and he shot up water because of I don't
What?
know how true that is, but it seems like a
Why?
Jared Leto thing to do.
But why?
Because method acting. Because if I method acting, that makes me a better actor, even though I'm just a decent actor who's a piece of shit as a person.
Yeah. Like he was fine in the movie, but he was far from the best part. I actually
Yeah.
find I don't remember. I don't know anybody name in the movie, but I found Sarah, the old lady, being the best part in the movie. I found
Yes.
his girlfriend. What the name on her again?
She's Marion in the movie, played by Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, she did a really good job as well. I found those two to be the best part in the movie.
So we all know that IMDb trivia is a massive fucking joke, and you should never take it seriously.
Yep.
On the IMDb trivia for Requiem for a Dream, someone has written, there is a Batman connected in this film. Marlon Wayans was originally set to play Robin in Tim Burton's Batman Returns, and Jared Leto played the Joker in Suicide Squad. That's it. That's all that's written.
What?
Requiem for a Dream is my favorite Batman movie. Move out of the way, Mask of the Phantasm. That's so fucking dumb.
I kind of like when I kind of like American Psycho. For those that have not seen the movie, watch the movie now and don't listen to me. But in that movie, you actually see Batman kill the Joker.
Let's see Paul Allen's Joker. I gotta rewatch American Psycho at some point. That's such a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I straight up have gone through like every note.
It's really
that I
hard.
have written.
It's really
on
hard to
Requiem for a
discuss
Dream.
that.
It's such a good movie that I have not much to say except for fuck.
Yeah, same. But like, I found it kind of like a masterpiece in a way. Like, it is so good movie, but I don't want to watch it. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was left more. I mean, they're different. I guess I wasn't really shocked at the end of Requiem for a Dream. I was just more like, well, fuck, that happened. Meanwhile, 7 like actually genuinely shocked me. Like I was speechless for a shocked reason, while Requiem for a Dream, I was speechless for a just, well, that happened.
Kind of like completely the offside for me, because in the 7, I thought, ooh, that was a cool twist, but it didn't hit me that hard. But in Requiem, I was like, fuck, both time.
Yeah, 7 just hit different. That
7 is a really good movie as well.
That lust victim scene made me genuinely sick.
I love how we are talking. I love how we are talking about. Okay, what are we talking about? Death Note, Eva,
7,
American Psycho.
Yeah, I really just don't know what else to talk about Requiem for a Dream other than it's really fucking good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a good movie. I don't think I ever want to watch it again.
Same
I own it.
The only time I will watch it is if I recommend it to someone else and they want to see it with me. Then I will watch it.
I'm more with Jeremy Johns on you can watch it. I'm not watching it with you. Watch it by yourself.
That's fair.
Watch it by yourself and then come back to me and we can talk.
I
don't. I'm
Can
not.
we, can we
not
start with
watching.
our next recommendation now?
Yeah, because I guess that's everything I can say. Again, Requiem for a Dream, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 on me as well. I don't like the rank movie, but 9 out of 10 seems good.
Yeah. I like giving a score to movies, mainly just because it's more convenient for me, but even though like my scoring system is very different from everyone else's, and I've learned that. Yeah. Requiem for a Dream. I give that a 9 out of 10. Good movie. We both watched good movies.
Yeah, this time it was both great movie. Then the name of the podcast is disagree, but we agree a lot this time. So fair enough.
We literally only disagreed on the point of this podcast, and then also just the design of fucking Ryu Nintendo 2017. That's the only thing we disagreed on.
I mean, if people can make a podcast about anime and don't talk about anime, we can do.
Yes, my favorite podcast, Torch Taste, by featuring Josh Grant, and I'm trying to think of a fucking name for Connor, but all I can think of is Sea Dog Virginia. I purposely said Grant in my my break video. I purposely said Grant, and I think I also purposely I purposely messed something up, another thing up, but I can't remember it. So, I guess that's the end. We've reached the point that we recommend. We're gonna recommend our new choices for the next episode, whenever the hell that happens.
And
I'm gonna recommend.
Oh,
want to recommend?
Yes.
All right, you recommend.
I recommend Your Name. It's a really good animated movie.
I've been meaning to watch Your Name since after I saw Silent Voice.
It's one of those emotional one. Yes, you know.
So yours is gonna be Your Name. My recommendation is going to be Shin Godzilla.
Oh yes, Godzilla.
It's definitely going to be something to talk about because you're a massive Godzilla fan.
I am.
At some point, I'm going to have to recommend fucking Godzilla's Revenge.
No, only if I can watch it with you.
The part of me wants to be a piece of shit and recommend the whole anime trilogy, but another part of me just thinks I don't.
No. I won't do that. I won't do that.
Watch it. I don't care enough about Godzilla to watch that. The only time I'm probably gonna ever watch it is if I ever do my reviewing every Godzilla movie. But yeah, Shin Godzilla is actually so. This is gonna be interesting when it comes to talking about Godzilla because Jonas is a massive fan of Godzilla.
I am.
Like you like Godzilla on the same level that I like Batman, I would say. And it's still funny that what got you into Godzilla was that god-awful 98 remake. But Jonas really likes Godzilla. Meanwhile, I have never given a shit about Godzilla until seeing scenes from Shin Godzilla. And that actually has put excitement because that actually looks like it's gonna, like, it looks really cool. Also the fact that it's made by Anno, who's the guy who made Eva, so I've been meaning to watch that for a while. So
the thing about that movie is I don't know if you will love it or hate it. That will be really interesting.
I have my expectations set at a pretty decent level, given the fact that it's an Anno movie. I expect to be confused.
Okay.
I expect to be confused. I expect weird shit to happen. I've seen Godzilla rolling around on his stomach. That shit's hilarious.
It
I'm
won't
sorry,
be
it's so
that
funny.
good, but
It's so funny.
Godzilla fucking flight in one movie.
Yeah, compared to the other corny things I've seen from Godzilla, I've seen his son.
Oh yeah,
Didn't he hit his son, or did I make that up?
I don't know. He might have. I think he had.
I think there's a GIF where he hits his son. But
Not only that, there have been many different universe, and he had 3 sons, if I remember correctly.
Also, I just noticed, Spirited Away had a budget of $19.2 million,
Yeah.
or between 15 and 19, made $395.8 million. Requiem for a Dream, on the other hand, that had a budget of $4.5 million and only made $7.4 mil.
Interesting. I know the Spirit Away, it's like, I don't know if it's still it, but back in like 2019, it was still the highest part of the movie in Japan. Really interesting. The Japan
Yeah.
because that movie is
Accordingly, it became the most successful and highest grossing film in Japanese history with a total of 31.68 billion yen, which translates to 305 million US dollars. Because Japanese currency is so goddamn fucked.
Yeah, it is.
But I guess that concludes the first episode of Disagree. What a very interesting way to start.